People who have actually called a number from the bathroom wall. How did that go? My ex-wife, wife at the time, would get random dudes calling her late at night wanting sex. She would ask where they got the number and they would hang up. I encouraged her to start being a little nicer to those calling, and she eventually got one of them to tell her where they were getting her number. In a bathroom stall in a bar in the neighborhood but her ex-boyfriend of hers resided. Finally, a really drunk guy called looking for a good time and she explained to him that an a-hole ex-BF had maliciously put the message up. She asked him if he could scratch out the message. He agreed. They both hung up and the phone call stopped. Someone wrote their number with a note saying text me if you want to talk. I texted them about how I was having a bad day and they responded and gave me a few words of encouragement. I saw a number in a bathroom stall that said call Jerry, so I called Jerry. He picks up and said this is Jerry, a BJ is $50. I hung up. Yeah, $20 is my limit too. Close. Found a number in a textbook so I called, and it was this guy who had left the number there 7 years ago and thought it was hilarious I found it. He was really nice. Not a bathroom wall, but one time in high school a group of kids, and I'd found binders and folders that belonged to students from 10 years ago in a storage room. One binder, which belonged to a kid named Cody, had a large list of students' phone numbers. We called a handful of them, and probably only about 3 picked up. I guess they were amused that some kids from their old high school were calling them, and one girl actually thought it was really cool. It was an interesting experience. A couple years ago someone wrote my friend's name and number on the train with a note to call for free doorknobs. None of us could ever figure out if it was a euphemism for something, but she got calls for weeks about the free doorknobs. I called one from one I found in the stall in school. It was a teacher at our school, her home number. She asked how I got her number. In middle school I called a number under on one of the benches written in Sharpie. After a couple months of talking and getting to know this girl we parted ways. Without ever mentioning this, she is now my best friend's wife and mother of their 2 daughters. Weird world. I have never done it, but I recall once seeing something like for a good BJ, call blank and recognizing it as a gay friend's number. I told him about it next time I saw him, and he said yeah I know, I wrote it there. It was before Grindr and all that existed. Anyway I just told him to be careful. I'm fine with him being gay, but he wasn't the brightest. Someone put my number on the bathroom wall once. I got a text message from someone telling me it was really nice of them, actually. After our text convo though, it got me thinking. Nobody had called me for a good time. I was slightly insulted cause I am, in fact, a very good time, but I did change my phone number anyway. 3 months later they tore that building down to make a new gas station, so in retrospect I guess I could have kept that phone number that I had for 10 plus years. Oh well. I mean you can always put your number on the bathroom wall again if you want phone calls. I do this when I get lonely. Still no one has called. Hey, you interested in having a good time? We can go buy some unshelled unsalted peanuts and then to the park to feed squirrels and geese. Then we can go to a pub, get something tasty and some type of brew. After that, play a couple games of you know at the table till we get bored or get asked to leave. Then we go people watching and trash talk everyone. Then we go to the dollar store and buy 10 helium balloons. We go to a field and let 5 balloons go, and the other person has a shotgun with 5 rounds loaded. Then we switch. Let's see who has the most hits. Then we go get some donuts and coffee. Does that sound like a good time? Gary was not up for it at all. Meow. Good dang it Gary. This was the late 90s, So pagers and payphones were still a thing. I saw some graffiti on a payphone outside of a gas station on the way to a friend's house. Basically, it said something along the lines of need hot gay dick or something. So, I paged my friend and put that number in and then headed to his dorm. When I got there, my friend said he got a page, called the number and some guy answered. They were both confused for a minute because that dude didn't page my friend and they tried to figure it out. After a bit, the dude asked my friend what he looked like. My friend explained himself. Then, the dude asked my friend if he was gay and or wanted to get his dick sucked. My friend said no on both accounts and hung up. He could tell by my laughing that I knew something and I came clean. Honestly, I had assumed some other college kid had put his friend's number up there to mess with him. But, nope, this guy was really trying to get laid via payphone graffiti. So, now, when I see this type of thing, I know that it isn't always a joke. Sometimes, you might just get your dick sucked. That's my life mantra. When I was a kid, my friend and I were at the bowling alley, and in the bathroom was one of those for a good time numbers. We didn't 100% know what it meant, but we were all for calling random numbers to see what would happen. We go to the payphone and call the number, and it goes to an answering machine with some gruff sounding guy doing his leave your name and number spiel. Somewhere out there some dude once came home to a message of a little girl casually saying, "Yes, hello, we saw your phone number on the bathroom wall and we are looking for a good time. So," and the other screaming in the background, "Oh my god, hang up," before the click. Bahahaha. This is fantastic. Can you imagine? What if his wife heard it instead? Your mom's doing fine. She hopes you had a good Easter. The paper towels arrived within 5 business days. Reddit, can we agree that maybe we should really start calling the numbers on bathroom stalls? Like, maybe make a group pact to always do this when we can. It seems most of the time it's not quite what we expect, and maybe, just maybe, we could be reaching someone who just wants to talk, or maybe didn't know their number was on the wall. Worst case, you get a really good time.